Trying out the Chinese chicken, you have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.
Welcome to my box score breakdown of the Buffalo Bills versus New York Giants preseason game. This is the first preseason game of the year. I'm going to do this for all the preseason, all the regular season, and all the postseason for the Buffalo Bills because they'll definitely make the playoffs. So here we go with the Giants versus the Bills. The Giants ended up winning 34-25. It was a pretty fun game, actually. I was expecting a lot worse, but it was fun to watch. So let's get started with the quarterbacks for the Giants. We got Russell Wilson started off the game here. He's going to be their starter in the beginning of the year, I believe. And he ended up going 6 of 7. I think he just played the first drive or so. So 6 of 7, pretty efficient for 28 yards, no touchdowns or anything. And then they ended up putting in Jackson Dart, which was their first round pick at like number 25, I think, like that in the first round. And he went 12 of 19 for 154 yards and a touchdown. He actually looked really good. That touchdown throw he had to little Jordan Humphrey looked really good. So we'll talk about that later. And then they ended up putting in Jameis Winston after that, who went 7 of 11 for 62 yards and a touchdown. So good game for him too. Also, Tommy DeVito was their fourth quarterback that came in at the end of the game. He went 10 of 14 for 73 yards and a touchdown. So overall, pretty efficient game for the Giants quarterbacks. And they do have some good quarterbacks in there. Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston's been around forever, and then the rookie Jackson Dart, who everyone has a lot of hope for. So fun game for them. And then we move over to the Bills side. Of course, Josh Allen didn't play. I don't think he's going to play at all this preseason. So we started off with Mitchell Trubisky, who actually looked pretty good. He went 9 of 13 for 138 yards and a touchdown, and he took 0 sacks, so that was big. And he was going against the Giants' first-string defense, which they have a really good defensive line with Abdul Carter and all those guys. Abdul Carter was their number 3 pick overall, or number 2 overall, number 3, I think it was. So good game for Mitchell Trubisky. And then Mike White came in, who everyone's saying Mike White and Mitchell Trubisky are battling for the second string quarterback right behind Josh Allen. So Mike White went 8 for 13, 112 and 2 touchdowns, but also took 1 sack. So very good game for both Mitchell Trubisky and Mike White. I'm sure that battle is going to come down to the wire, probably the last preseason game. And I'm sure one of them is going to get cut just because they both take up a lot of money on the cap, so they want to relieve their financials by getting rid of one of those two. And then Shane Buechele will probably be their third string or emergency quarterback on the practice squad if something happens. So he went 10 of 12 for 91 yards, also took a sack. So pretty good game for the Bills quarterbacks. We'll move on to rushing. We had, with New York Giant, Jackson Dart led the way, actually, with 3 carries for 24 yards. He had a long of 19 yards, so good day for him. And I didn't know he could run that well, so good for him. Dante Miller, who I haven't heard of, which is apparently number 250. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know how he got that number, but that must be a mistake there. But he had 10 carries for 22 yards. Not very good. That's like, 2 yards per carry, not too good. Jameis Winston, quarterback, had 1 carry for 12 yards. Tyrone Tracy, who's their starting running back, he had 3 for 9 yards. They didn't play him much, really, just the first drive. Jonathan Ward, I've never heard of him, 3 carries for 5 yards. Montrell Washington, never heard of him, 1 for 3. Devin Singletary, an old name the Buffalo Bills fans know. He's now the New York Giants' second string running back. He had 2 carries for 3 yards. He's getting a little older. He's probably around 30 years old now. And then we had Tommy DeVito at 2 carries for 1 yard. No touchdowns from any of those rushers either, which I was surprised about. And then over on the Bills side, we had Ty Johnson. He led the way with 3 carries for 26 yards with a 14-yard long run. Frank Gore Jr. had 5 carries for 21 yards. He's probably going to end up being a pretty good practice squad running back for the Bills. Also, he's the son of future Hall of Famer Frank Gore. So then we got Ray Davis, who will be the second string running back for the Bills. He had 4 carries for 7 yards. Not very good, honestly, but Darrington Evans might be another practice squad running back, 2 for 4 yards. And then Shane Buechele ran once for 0 yards, I guess. So there we go on rushing. Honestly, none of these guys really look that great. Jackson Dart, maybe a couple of runs for a quarterback, looked pretty good, but other than that, not too crazy. So receiving wise for New York Giants, Dante Miller led the game with 7 catches and 80 yards. And for receiving, I always like looking at the targets too. So he had 7 receptions on 7 targets. So that's 100% catch rate. So good for him. Never heard of that guy, but looks pretty good. And oh yeah, that's interesting. He had 10 carries for 22 yards and also 7 receptions for 80 yards. So he must be a running back that just got a lot of catches out of the backfield, a lot of screens or something. I did notice in that game there was a lot of screens that the New York Giants did. So they also have Montrell Washington. He had 3 catches for 60 yards with a long of 29 on 6 targets, only 50% catch. Lil Jordan Humphrey had that touchdown that I was talking about from Jackson Dart. He had 2 catches for 36 yards and a touchdown, and his long was 28. That was that touchdown. On 4 targets, Jonathan Ward, 4 for 35 with 1 touchdown. On 5 targets, Gunnar Olszewski, 5 catches for 27 yards and a touchdown. So good for him. These guys all had touchdowns, so good game for them. They also had Thomas Findone, never heard of him, 3 catches for 22 yards on 3 targets. Wan'Dale Robinson is one of their starting wide receivers. He had 1 catch for 11 yards. And I'm not going to talk about all these guys, but yeah, there's Devin Singletary had one target. Tyrone Tracy, 2 catches for 7 yards. All right, we move over to the Bills. We had Tyrell Shavers. He had 2 catches for 70 yards on 4 targets, but one of his longs was a 58-yarder, so huge game for Tyrell Shavers. He's trying to win a roster spot on the Bills' 53-man roster. Hopefully he can get it. They had Frank Gore Jr. catch the ball 5 times for 50 yards on 5 targets, so good game for him. KJ Hamler, he's trying to earn a spot. He had 1 catch for 39 yards, and it was a touchdown. Steven Gosnell, never really heard of him, but 4 catches for 30 yards. Josh Palmer, another receiver for the Bills they just signed this year. Hopefully he's going to step in big. He had 2 catches for 21 yards. Christian Wilkerson, another receiver for practice squad, possibly 1 catch for 20 yards. And Laviska Shenault's trying to win a starting job. Darrington Evans had a touchdown on 2 catches for 14 yards. Dawson Knox had 1 catch for 11 yards, touchdown on one of the first drives. Dalton Kincaid, 1 catch for 10 yards. I think that was on the first drive. Yeah, so good game for the Bills there. Keon Coleman, 1 catch for 0 yards on 1 target. That's kind of interesting. I was hoping he would get more work in this game, but that's okay. Really only played the first couple drives. Couple fumbles in this game. Trace Ford had a receiving fumble. Okay, so the Bills player Jacob Bayer fumbled and lost it, and Trace Ford picked it up. So that was the only fumble. And we go over the defense. I'm not going to talk about defense too much because a lot of these guys are third stringers, whatever. So let's see if anything pops out here. Couple tackles for loss for Joe Andreessen had a tackle for loss. He's trying to win the backup middle linebacker spot. Jimmy Charlo had 1 tackle for loss as well. Bills just signed him a little while ago. Tre'Davious White had a couple tackles. Good for him. Not really sure about the Giants side of things. Let's see if I can find Abdul Carter. Yeah, he almost had a couple sacks in this game. Here's this guy. This guy here, DJ Davidson, he had a sack. Jordan Riley had a sack. I don't know if the Bills had any sacks. They had a couple tackles for loss. Doesn't look like they had any sacks. So overall, pretty fun game here. Let's look at kicking and no interceptions in this game. Kicking, don't know any of these guys for the... these are kick returns. Okay. So Laviska Shenault had 2 for 62. That's pretty good. KJ Hamler, 2 for 48. All right. Awesome. Good game for those guys. And the funny thing is, Ray Davis, the backup running back for the Bills, he had an extra point in the game with Caden Davis kicking one field goal and one extra point. I just thought that was funny because Tyler Bass is hurt right now, so they wanted to give Ray Davis a practice extra point for just in case an emergency kicker or something like that. So kind of interesting. So yeah, that's the box score breakdown between the Buffalo Bills and New York Giants for the first preseason game. Leave me a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below what you thought about the game. Let me know if anything jumps out at you in this box score breakdown that I have. And have a great day, everybody.
Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.